This is not the deadliest non-human predator in the world. And neither is this. Or this. It's actually this. Well, the adults are anyway. With an 85% success rate on hunts, African wild dogs are the most effective predators on the planet. How do they do it? Like several other species, they've learned it's better to live together than to die alone. I'm Tasha the Amazon, and this is Animalogic Second Nature. You asked, we answered. This is Pack Hunting, Part 2. Cooperation is an evolved trait that can help species not just survive, but thrive. And pack hunters are some of the most successful species on the planet. Of the top 10 most efficient predators in the world, 4 are pack hunters. The sinister 4, if you will.
Cheetah or the hunting leopard is not a leopard. He does not even belong to the cat family. He's an offshoot of the dog family.
While pack hunting occurs most famously in the African savanna, this behavior occurs in dozens of species on every continent, even on the shores of Antarctica. In part 1 of this episode, we covered lions, cheetahs, chimps, dolphins, wolves, hawks, crocs, spiders, and the famously efficient African wild dogs.
These cooperative hunters roam the African savanna in groups of up to 20, and they use these numbers to their advantage. They can take down prey up to 10 times their size. Their primary strategy is to get their prey on the run where they're more vulnerable. If their target stands their ground for over 5 minutes, the pack of dogs will likely leave it be.
African wild dogs are so good at working together to take down prey that 85% of their hunts result in a successful kill. This makes them 25% more effective than the world's next most successful predator, the surprisingly deadly yet tiny black-footed cat, whose hunts are only 60% successful, albeit they hunt solo. This means that if you're an impala, and to the left of you there's a pride of lions, and to the right of you there's a pack of African wild dogs, you should try your luck with the lions, as your risk of a lion killing you is 70% lower than an African wild dog. Having been adapted by so many different species shows just how effective pack hunting is. And pack hunting has been evolving for a long, long time.
Holy moly dandy!
1.2 million-year-old specimens of Canis chilensis, ancestral wolves found in northern China, show evidence of a multiple leg fracture and a serious dental infection that both had the chance to heal. Injuries of these kinds would spell starvation for most solitary species. But when you're part of the pack, you get fed by your family in sickness and in health.
Aren't you feeling well, Bill? Aren't you hungry?
It's this family-style cooperation that some scientists believe led to us humans becoming the big-brained creatures we are today. One theory suggests that our giant brains advanced to help us better cooperate and survive by working together, protecting each other, and developing strategies to hunt together. Fossil evidence from Tanzania shows that human ancestors Homo habilis were hunting and butchering meat 1.8 million years ago. Since we know they lived in small family groups with social behaviors probably more advanced than chimpanzees, they also likely participated in cooperative hunting. Over time, hominids employed their big brains to begin using other pack hunting species in their own hunts. The ancestors of modern humans began domesticating wolves around 135,000 years ago. And with better strength, stamina, hearing, and smell, wolves added a whole new skill set to taking down dinner.
These hunting dogs know what's coming. They're impatient to get started. Jimmy and his dad and the guide wisely let the dogs start hunting before they load their guns.
Cooperative hunting only evolves when it increases each individual's payoff. That means that an individual has a greater chance of successful hunt when working together with one or more individuals than alone. The flip side of that is that this greater efficiency can't be outweighed by the size of the group. If too many individuals partake in a hunt, each individual will get less to eat, and therefore make the hunt no longer worth it. Pack hunting also happens by default in social groups, like in the case of a pod of orcas. Orcas don't live in a group because they need to hunt together. Rather, they live as a family and hunt together as an extension of their status as a unit. The environment in which a species lives also determines whether they need to pack hunt or not. If prey is abundant and small enough to catch without help, cooperative hunting isn't necessary. In areas where prey is more scarce or too large to take down alone is when cooperative hunting comes into play. Because it's influenced by the environment, the tendency toward cooperative hunting may also change throughout the seasons as prey availability fluctuates. This is why there are plenty of species of generally solo hunters that will team up to hunt in times of scarcity, like Cuban crocodiles, boas, and fusa.
For thousands of years, dogs have offered protection, companionship, and love. There are all kinds of dogs, more than 100 different kinds and breeds.
When talking about pack hunting, it's the Canidae family that first comes to mind. These dog relatives have found homes on every continent except Antarctica, and wherever they end up, their cooperative hunting ways have followed. Of the 34 canid species, which includes domestic dogs, wolves, coyotes, foxes, jackals, and dingoes, the largest of these usually live and hunt in packs. The strategy that they share is that together they're able to take down prey that is much larger than themselves and will provide enough food for the whole pack. Depending on the canid species, however, they may have different strategies. Some approach silently at dusk or dawn, using their sense of sight to narrow in on their prey, chasing in short bursts and taking their prey down quickly. Other canine species use their endurance to chase their prey until it becomes exhausted, and they can move in for the kill. Others surround their prey, taking turns to charge into the circle to bite and immobilize their target. Let's explore pack hunting canids continent by continent. We already covered North America's greatest pack hunters, the wolves, in part 1.
A 2011 study used computer simulations to study wolf hunting techniques, and they found that there are 2 simple rules that wolves follow when hunting. 1, they must move towards prey until a minimum safe distance to the prey is reached. And 2, once they're close enough, they move away from the other wolves that are also at a close distance to the prey. This ensures that the wolves surround prey and means that regardless of the prey or the situation, each wolf can function as a part of a successful unit, with no real communication or hierarchy within the unit.
And since coyotes don't form large packs of unrelated coyotes, and instead live in very small family groups and usually hunt alone, we're going to skip over to Australia. Here we have the continent's apex terrestrial predator, an infamous pack hunter, the dingo.
Oh, yes!
A whole pack of them. Some up on the hill too.
Yes! Look at him! Oh my god! They're beautiful, babe. Look at him. Take it. Grab it. It's a dead rabbit, I think.
Nah, it's just a bag.
Is it?
Yeah, he just wants to play with it.
Is he a pup, babe?
Yeah.
Oh, they are gorgeous.
These extremely social canids live in groups of up to 10 individuals, with a dominant pair leading the group. They live their entire lives collaboratively, with male dingoes participating in the weaning and teaching of young. When it comes to the hunt, they need to work together to take down larger, feisty prey, like red kangaroos and invasive wild hogs. Dingoes use a couple different hunting tactics. First, they use the chase to exhaustion strategy and will harass and pursue their prey until it's exhausted. They also ambush unsuspecting prey, which is a tactic that requires less energy output, since kangaroos are fast. Dingoes are also known to use the landscape to their advantage by chasing their prey towards tripping hazards like thick bushes and rocky areas. The way they select their prey is also a strategy for success. They often choose younger roos who don't yet have the speed or knowledge of predator evasion of their full-grown, roided-out parents.
We were witnessing a pretty remarkable event, a dingo at full pace hunting one of Australia's worst feral animals. And I think that was his chance. He separated mum and the young pig. The young pig is pretty quick and evasive, and our dingo looks like an inexperienced hunter. The dingo does get hold of the young pig and brings the hunt to an end.
Dingoes have also been known to devour smaller livestock. To keep them out of the agriculturally important Southwest, a 5,600-kilometer-long dingo fence was built in the 1800s to keep them out. And that fence still stands today. Let's move over to Asia and delve into the dhole, otherwise known as the Asiatic wild dog. While they're about the size of a German Shepherd, they're more fox-like in appearance, and they live throughout Eastern and Southern Asia in habitats ranging from dense forests to alpine regions. Dholes are extremely fast and excellent swimmers and jumpers, all of which come in handy during the hunt. They're also sometimes called whistling dogs because they use whistles, clucks, and high-pitched screams to communicate with each other during the hunt. Once they make a kill, they'll swallow large chunks of meat to carry back to the nursing mothers and pups of the pack. Once the pups are old enough to join the hunt, the young ones get first dibs on the spoils.
Will you have some peas, Ralph?
Gosh, Mrs. Cat, I don't like peas.
We're off now to South America to check out the bush dog. These water-loving canids have webbed toes and short legs adapted for swimming. When hunting in packs, they'll set up traps for their prey which force them into the water, where a bush dog will be waiting to strike. Since they usually hunt pacas and capybaras, which naturally jump into the water to avoid predators like jaguars and ocelots, this water trap is a very effective hunting strategy. They don't just hunt large rodents, though. They've even been known to take down prey as large as tapirs by biting their legs and ankles till they succumb to blood loss. We can't talk about pack hunting without going to Africa on this canine world tour. We already talked about African wild dogs in part 1, but we haven't covered the black-backed jackal. These small dogs are omnivorous and primarily hunt at night. While they also sometimes hunt alone or in mating pairs to bring down prey like rodents, hares, and small antelope, these canids will also gather to hunt in packs to bring down larger prey like domesticated sheep. While often confused for a canine species because of their appearance and canine-like hunting and socialization habits, the spotted hyena is actually in a family all its own, called Hyenidae. Much like the black-backed jackal, hyenas usually hunt alone for smaller prey and only come together in a group to take down larger kills. Another true African canine that eats together is the bat-eared fox. They usually hunt in groups, often splitting up into pairs, but remaining in the same general area. It almost goes without saying that these canids use their excellent sense of hearing to hunt, with those giant ears also helping them to thermoregulate in their hot habitat.
If you will lend me your ears, I will tell you about these invisible waves and how our ears are able to convert them into sound.
While we're still in Africa, a non-canine pack hunting honorable mention must be given to the banded mongoose. They forage in groups, but search independently for insects and other invertebrates and never share. One of the only times they band together is when hunting their favorite snack, snakes. They use a cooperative tactic called mobbing, in which the entire group crowds together and charges, screaming at their target, giving the illusion of being one single opponent. On the final continent on our list, there are surprisingly also pack hunting canids to be found. Specifically, the European jackal, which is a close relative of the black-backed jackal. Much like their African cousins, European jackals are also omnivorous and hunt primarily at night in packs to take down livestock like sheep and lambs, although they mostly eat hares, rodents, birds, and are known to eat lizards, frogs, insects, and mollusks too. In the winter months, when food isn't as abundant, they will cache their surplus kills to save for later. But of course, as we learned from part 1 of this episode, pack hunting isn't just for the dogs. Diving into the oceans, we'll find a host of whales and even sharks that hunt together.
Whales are strange creatures, mammals, originally land animals. There she blows!
The most prolific is the orca, which are such infamous pack hunters that they're actually referred to as the wolves of the sea. These highly intelligent, highly social animals use a number of clever tactics to secure their meals. And these tactics are passed down from generation to generation. The wave wash is a favorite way to knock a seal off a safe perch on an ice floe. Several orcas will swim at the ice floe in formation, creating a large wave that sweeps the seal into the water. Another strategy is the shark chop, where an orca will push the shark to the surface and then smack its tail down on the shark's head to incapacitate it. Wild.
One clean blow with that 2-ton sledge, and even this terrific stabber would be put out of commission.
Similarly, belugas work together to drive schools of fish into shallow waters where they can't escape. Humpback whales also cooperate to corral their prey on the surface for an easy snack.
Holy moly dandy!
Recent studies have revealed that humpbacks also make similar hunting vocalizations deep underwater, suggesting that they may hunt cooperatively in the pitch-dark depths of the ocean as well as on the surface. Even reef sharks have been observed hunting together. Well, not exactly in a mutually beneficial way. Gray reef sharks have been seen following white-tip reef sharks, which are smaller, more agile, and do not need to swim to breathe like gray reef sharks do. Any prey that the white-tips flush out of hard-to-reach places is then immediately snapped up by the gray sharks.
Well, this shark business is getting on their nerves. They spoil all the fun.
Sometimes solitary animals will surprise us with their occasional pack-hunting tendencies. The Cuban boa, for example, will strategically position themselves at the mouths of caves to ambush Jamaican fruit bats, Cuban crocodiles, too, have been observed with multiple individuals coming together to feed. Malagasy fusa, solitary cat-like animals from Madagascar, have also recently been observed hunting in small groups and sharing the spoils. This all goes to highlight that depending on their environment, even solitary animals may turn to the benefits of cooperative hunting to survive. It is, after all, better to live together than to die alone. So what should we talk about next? Let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe for new episodes every week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Having been adapted by so many different species, how effective pack hunting is. Having been adapted by so many species, Having been adapted by so many different species shows just how effective. Oh my God. Having been adapted by so many species? Like now none of the words sound like English. Having been adapted by so many species shows. Having been adapted by so many species. Having been adapted by so many species. Oh, okay, let's do it.
Pack hunting scene 5, take 3.
Having been adapted by so many different species shows just how effective pack hunting is. Oh, you're ready. Don't let me hold you back.